So what we have here today is two new and separate innovations that are part of our Underdeck product group. And these two new innovations complement our advanced Underdeck system, which we launched just in 2020. And combined, these three advancements, if you will, help utility companies, utility contractors, and municipalities work smarter, more efficiently, and more productively. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is a new PTO-driven hydraulic system power drive that we just developed. And this is the first show that it is being unveiled and that is being seen by the general public. And our internal name for this system was called Sans Gear, meaning without gears. And the reason for that, I'm just going to use a picture here, is because it is replacing a gearbox design that we used to have on the front of our compressor. So getting away from the gearbox design and going to this new heavy-duty cog belt driven pulley system has a lot of advantages. Now, it is installed on the front of this unit, but it's a little hard for you to see. So we have a version of this right here as a prop on this table. And you can see that it's uninstalled. And as I spin this unit here, you can see the belt system inside. And this is where the hydraulic pump would be mounted. So to go over some features of this system, again, I'm going to use a photo here that there's the hydraulic pump mounted on the front of that belt drive. So some of the features that we have, it is mounted, it's PTO driven. It's mounted to on the other side, it's mounted directly to our air compressor. It develops up to 30 GPM of hydraulic power at 2000 PSI. It's extremely quiet, and it weighs less than our traditional gearbox design. And it costs less than our traditional gearbox design. So it has a lot of features and a lot of benefits. Now, as you can see in this photograph, this is actually part of another innovation that we are unveiling here today, and this is our new all-in-one Underdeck system. So we are the only company in the industry that has anything like this. It's 6 forms of power in one compact machine. Now, it is mounted right here inside the chassis frame rail, and what we have is we have our hydraulic system pump drive that we just went over on the front. We have our 185 CFM air compressor. Coupled to the back of that, directly coupled to the back of that, is a combination welder, generator, battery charger, and engine jump starter. So in this box right here, just mounted on this demo for display purposes, is a remote panel. Now, typically this panel could be mounted anywhere the customer would tell the upfitter they want it installed. It could be at the back of the body in a compartment. It could be underneath the body in an underdeck compartment or an underbody compartment. And if you step around, I'm sorry that it's a little compact in here, but if you step around, you can see the panel has a lot of controls. It actually has the weld lead connections here on the bottom. And this welder puts out 330 amps of stick welding capability. It has the outlets for the AC electric generator. That's 10 kW of power. And as you heard Greg mention a few minutes ago, we could actually power our level 2 mobile EV charger off of this if we wanted. It has the weld controls here for arc control as well as for amperage control. And then it has a control here that you can see that you can select between welding, but then you can also select for 12, 24, 36, and 48 volt engine jump starting and battery charging. Again, this is a remote panel. It would typically be mounted somewhere on the truck wherever the upfitter has asked the installer to install it. Additionally, in this panel, you'll see our VTEC 2 control, which is controlling the air compressor system and also controlling the variable engine speed control dependent upon air demand. So this system is mounted underneath. So some of the benefits of mounting the system in a compact machine, we've replaced 6 machines, a welder, a generator, an air compressor, a hydraulic power source, some type of battery charger, and an engine jump starter all in one machine. And by doing that, we save a tremendous amount of weight. We save over 2,000 pounds of weight. And we also have now freed up a lot of space on top of the body or inside the load space of the body. And by doing that, you're making the operator or the crew much more efficient, more productive. By saving all that space, they can carry more tools or more materials to the job site. And by doing that, they might be able to reduce the amount of trips they need to make back and forth to the job site. Additionally, by mounting this underneath, we can get away from small engines and small engine issues or repairs that are needed, as less maintenance because you're consolidated from 6 machines into one. And we've also freed up the hitch of the truck. By freeing up the hitch of the truck, you make the truck more productive. You can now tow an excavator to the job site or a material trailer, as well as make the truck more maneuverable on the job site. Both of these innovations, the hydraulic pump drive, as well as the all-in-one system, the Underdeck all-in-one, basically complement and become part of our advanced system, our advanced PTO Underdeck-driven system that we launched just 3 years ago in 2020. Just to talk about that for a minute, on this side of the truck, you'll see our air oil separation tank that's part of all of our Underdeck systems. This tank has a lot of features that are exclusive to Van Air. First of all, it has aluminum manifolds at each end. And by doing that, by going with our aluminum manifolds and JIC connections, we've reduced leak points by over 80%. Additionally, we put all the control equipment, the minimum pressure valve, the regulators, the blowdown valve, the scavenge line on the tank, and it is all of that equipment is installed at our factory before it ships out to our distributors. By doing so, we've dramatically cleaned up the underside of the truck. Inside the tank is our ultralife coalescing element. We went from a 3,000 hour coalescing element preventive maintenance interval to a 6,000 hour coalescing element preventive maintenance interval. That is probably 12 to 15 years of use for most utility companies. Also inside the tank, we just last summer and from there on forward, we have introduced a new patent pending zero valve. The zero valve reduces the blowdown time from a minute and 15 seconds all the way down to about 8 seconds. So the operator of the truck will see a really nice benefit. Now they can rapidly deploy the truck. They can shut the system off and move the truck forward. But the real hidden benefit that they don't see, but it is a real benefit, is that it dramatically reduces oil frothing and oil carryover inside the unit. So that helps with longevity of the system, and it helps reduce maintenance items. Additionally, last summer, we made fail-safe, which was an option that we released 3 years ago, and it's patent pending. We went to it to make that a standard. So now that is a standard item on all of our systems. What we're doing with fail-safe is we offer an additional set of sensors. So every system has a pressure and a temperature sensor. We give an additional set of sensors that act as a redundancy or a backup. So if there's a sensor failure, the other sensor automatically takes over. The crew won't even know it until they're finished their job, because they do not lose function of the equipment or there's no interruption. When they come back to the truck to shut the system down, there will be a warning that tells them that they need to get the sensor changed. However, they can ignore that. They can use the truck for the rest of the day, the rest of the week, the rest of the month. Eventually, it should tell somebody about the warning that they continue to see. So again, that is patent pending, and that is exclusive. And that is our fail-safe feature. Another feature that we offer on our advanced system is called thermal guard. You see some silicone coolant hoses here running into this side of the tank, and they're coming into this side of the tank on the oil side. This is a patented system. We were awarded the patent for it, and we're using warm coolant from the engine. And what we're doing is we're preheating the oil on the oil side of the tank, and then we loop it over to the air side of the tank. And what we're doing is we're warming the regulators and the blowdown valve on that side. So the benefits to that are when the operator's driving to the job site on a cold day, they're actually preheating the oil. That helps with that to reduce strain on the powertrain at startup. It also helps to get the system up to temperature quicker. It helps reduce cold weather freeze-ups, and it helps with warm weather mitigation of the moisture that's in the system. Just wanted to talk about another running change we have in our system. This is not standard yet, but it will be within the next 3 months. 3 years ago, we upgraded our wiring system, and we went to a really nice Deutsch WeatherPack connection system. That's what's shown here on the far end of the table. In the next 3 months, we're going to go to an over-molded connection harness. And by doing so, we're greatly improving the weather fortitude of our system, because this has an IP69 rating. IP69 rating is the best you can get. You could actually pressure wash this system. We're also going to a hub system here. And by using this hub system, we're getting rid of some relays and some other some other transistors that we had in the existing system. So that's all happening in the next 3 months.
John, if I could jump in for just a second.
Yes, please.
I want to kind of introduce Jeff Roll. Jeff Roll is the engineer that's responsible for many of the improvements on our Underdeck system across the board. So Jeff will be celebrating 40 years with Van Air next year. So he's one of our longest term employees and deserves some recognition for sure. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Ralph. Congratulations, Jeff. We would like to start this system up if you'd like to hear it, and we can actually weld and do a demonstration of a weld. Donnie Stone will help us with that.